It is time for the first endurance race of the season here at Rush Racing League. Welcome back, everybody, to another round of Rush Racing Div1. We are here at the home track of Rush Racing League, Albert Park, Melbourne, the Australian Grand Prix, for the first 100% distance race here tonight. It's going to take a lot of strategy, endurance, and patience to get to the end of this one. My name is Patrick Coleman, aka Rekis, and I'll be one of your hosts and commentators for tonight's endurance round. And alongside me is SJ. How you doing tonight, mate?
Yeah, good evening, Rekis. Looking forward to this one. It's the big one. It's the Australia, so 100%. So this is going to be a long night, but also it should be fun along the way.
Exactly that. It is going to be short qualifying, but that is the only short thing about the weekend here, because then it is 58 laps around this track. So a lot of storylines coming into this week, but I know that we want to give a shout out to the team of the week, and that is none other than Mercedes. Mercedes has put on a very good run of form, and they're actually really, really close in the overalls to the overall leaders of Kick Sauber. So it's going to be a big week here for Mercedes, and they are going to have to do everything possible to really go ahead and try to lock in that P1 because they are only 9 points behind Kick Sauber for the overalls.
Yeah, no, it's been a fantastic week. I tell you, it was a close one. It was a close one between obviously Williams and that. So yeah, I'll introduce our first interview of the night. Welcome aboard the team of the week train, H-Town.
Thank you for having me. I'm really excited. Kind of nice to get team of the week so early in the season. I really didn't expect it, but here we are.
Yeah, it's been a fantastic week for Mercedes. It's been an interesting three races across the board, but to still show the consistency that you've done and to get team of the week just is props to all of your drivers.
Oh my gosh, it's so easy to be TP when you have drivers all pulling in the same direction. And to clarify, I didn't expect it before like the draft or anything. I'm not trying to talk bad about my drivers or anything. That's what I meant. But yeah, they really make TPing so easy. They all push in the same direction. We are open to constructive criticism, and we just do everything as a team. I really love all of my drivers.
Yeah, definitely. Which is obviously you can't single anyone out, but if we were to single anyone out at the moment, you've got to give massive props to Pop Top at Bongo at the moment, who's racing tonight in Division 1. He's been consistent the last 2-3 weeks, and obviously a fourth week tonight, hopefully. And also Winter and Zombie, not getting podiums, straight away, but obviously Zombie getting it last week in Bahrain, or the week before that in Bahrain. And then obviously Winter this week in Japan, and then also Brian as well, who's had a tough few weeks in Division 5. In Division 3, my apologies. And yeah, he obviously puts on the podium, and also Rise. What's the thoughts to losing Rise? How's that gone down in the team?
It just is. It is what it is. We don't harp on it. Rise is a great driver. Sad to see him go, but can't dwell on it. We just got to move on.
Awesome. Well, I wish you all the best with your team tonight and the remaining of the week. It's a big week for all of us on track, 100%, 58 laps. It's not easy around here. This is the first time we've ever done this at Albert Park. So all the best, and I'll pass you over to Regis.
Thank you.
All right, H-Town, I'm just going to go ahead and say best of luck to you this week across all the divisions. It's going to be a close fight between you and Sauber, and have fun this week.
Thank you. We will.
All right, without any further ado, we're going to go ahead and jump onto the on-track action. Some drivers have already went ahead and started setting some laps here. And it looks like Lockie is going to be the first one to set lap time here. We do have a just about a full grid. We are only missing a Red Bull. So other than that, it is just going to go ahead and be the 19 drivers on our grid tonight. But we will see if we will get that last remaining Red Bull. Watanabe has showed up here tonight. He has got a 1:15.6. That is going to be a very strong time to beat. We're currently riding with Chandler's at the moment to kick Sauber. It's a big week for Sauber. Sauber only 9 points in the lead coming into this week in the overall. So they're going to have to really be firing on all cylinders. Mercedes is a team that has been really strong on the rise recently. They've had a really, really good week. They won Team of the Week this week, so they got a lot of momentum that they could ride carrying into the just this massive endurance week, as I like to call it. It's 100% race all week long in all 5 divisions, so it should be a blast of a week here tonight. So let's go ahead and make a run through our grid. The drivers have already set times. We have Broadstuff, Pop Top, Watanabe, Lockie, Chandler's, Andre, Ozzy Manero, Toasted, Jonno, Jorgo, Dito, Flubber, Aiden is Raiden, Rift, Moza, Swift, Keatonic, JDI, and The One Truth. So it should be a fun time here tonight. SJ, any bold predictions coming into tonight?
I think we know that the favourite is probably Jonno, 3 for 3. Obviously no Fat Cat tonight, which is a bit of a shame. Obviously, what was going on there behind the scenes. Sad to see. But you can't underestimate the rest of the grid as well. So it's going to be interesting to see. We've got a few reserves in there as well. Ozzy Manero, it'll be interesting to see how he goes. Mozza's obviously got a quali ban. He will need to retire now, so hopefully he does that. Then we've also got Kaio that's jumping in tonight. We've then got Mini Giorgio that's having another go as well. Toast is back, which is good. Andre is back, which is even better. Lockie is back as well. So yeah, this should be a good night. I'm looking forward to it. But as we can see there, Flubber in 1:15.4 and Broadstar 1:14.9. So Broadstar showing that he's got serious pace out there tonight. But we still have Jonno, Giorgio, Rift, Mozza, Swift and Kyotonic still to set times.
Yeah, qualifying is going to be a very crucial one here tonight. So you really want to start this race in the best possible spot. And it's an interesting one because you have to really show more patience on these types of races because it is twice the length of a regular Rush Grand Prix. It's full race distance, so we got the entire 58 laps that the drivers will go through here tonight. And you really got one qualifying session just to kind of make it all stick. So Swift is going to jump up into P6 in that very beautiful Miami pink V-Carb. Keatonic is now going to go ahead and be the last driver, the last driver that's not currently in the pits to go ahead and set a lap time. Jorgo will be the next one after that, but so far 1 second does hold the entirety of the group that has set times, and Keo has actually invalidated his lap, so not a great start for the Alpine, but still got about 10 minutes to really make a good lap. Just kind of lock in here. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting. The first of 3 endurance 100% races this season. So should be a very interesting one. And obviously it's the home race of the league as well. That's always going to be a fun one for a lot of these guys here. It is their home Grand Prix. So all these guys are obviously going to want to do good. You always want to do good at your home race. There's a lot of drivers that would trade a lot of wins just to get one in their home track. So we'll see how tonight goes.
Yeah, no, it's going to be very interesting to see. Obviously, some still times to set at the moment. I'm just going to jump on board with Rift. He's down there in P17, so let's see how he goes. Come around into the final corner and is about to get underway. Unfortunately, we're still waiting on Globstrip. Hopefully he does turn up, because that is going to be a pain for Red Bull, going with one car yet again into Division 1. As you can see, guys coming out the pit lane here, so Globstrip takes it very nicely into turn 1. Very, very nicely. They're getting onto the ERS, burning the DRS as well at the same time. 60% coming into turn number 2. Very, very nicely there. Then keeps it very, very clean. Very well done within track limits, which is really good to see. 68% on the ERS into 6th gear, coming up to 7th gear. Will ease off to the acceleration here, getting to 5th, getting on to 64. Very, very smooth, very nicely so far. Up to 7th gear, 44% of the ERS. Then he'll burn a little bit with the DRS all the way coming through to the wall of not world champions. The graveyard, sorry, that's Canada. My apologies. Coming through the graveyard. Canada's not yet, so I'm doing a crystal ball. Coming down into the new layer of Australia as well. Very nicely there. Gets a little bit slidey coming out into sector 3, 6th gear, 5th gear. Coming onto the curb, 6th gear, drops it down into 2nd gear. Coming round into the final corner. What's it gonna be for Rift? Burns onto the ERS, now to the DRS. Going to the straight across the line, and it's 1:15.797. So he puts himself up into P11.
P11 is, I mean, you're definitely going to want to improve there, but still in a second as Jor goes off into the wall and Jor goes out. He has spun it right around turn 10. He has just gone a bit too deep and just spun it around. He did not set a time either, so Jorgo in a bit of a rough spot here. Haas is now down to 1 car in this qualifying session. So we were talking about Red Bull kind of being in a rough spot with only 1 car to speak of, but now you pretty much got 1 car in this fight here. And I mean, we saw Jorgo during the reserve program not have the greatest of times, but it seems like that rough luck translates also to this Div 1 race, and that is crucial, because drivers are obviously not going to want to, because overtaking on this track is not as hard as it is at other tracks, but it's also not as easy. You really only got about, I'd say about 3 good overtaking spots on this track at most. So the further back you start, the more difficult it is to score some good points here at this race, where you obviously want to score a lot of good points every single race as Brodsta improves his time. Jonno will be the next across the line. Where is he going to go? Up to P2 by only 57 hundredths of a second. But yeah, unfortunate for Jorgo to have that massive incident. Luckily, it didn't hurt anyone else either. That is also something we have to consider, because sometimes those kind of accidents can typically have a passenger, and this time it did not. So it's always good to see. Flubber improves. Right now, like we said earlier on, it is a big night for Mercedes. And actually, I remember, yeah, Mazda is like qualified ban, so Haas is in a rough spot of things as it sits right now.
Yeah, definitely 5 minutes to go, and obviously having both Hasses out, obviously one with quali ban and one DNFing. He did, I think he did exactly the same in the reserve program as well. So yeah, not having the best of lucks so far, but that is a phenomenal time there by Broadstar at the top there. 1:14.877, taking pole position away from Jonno at the moment. Flubber in P3 with a 15.176. We've still got Kyotonic still to set times. Everyone else has set times at the moment. 5 minutes to go. Are we going to see Broadstar taken off the leading chart at the moment?
That's going to be a really good question there, SJ. There's a lot of quick drivers on the grid here tonight. Aiden Raiden, he won the reserve program race here last night. Or, sorry, not last night, a couple of nights ago. So he's got a good amount of momentum coming into this weekend. I remember he said that was with a setup he wasn't particularly fond with. So now with a setup that he is fond with, I'm really curious to see how it is going to go Swift does improve. He does improve his time. Currently sitting in P8. And he is one of 2 cars currently on track. It's both him and his teammate. Currently the only cars on track, as it is about to become the rush hour where everybody is going to try to get back, try to use any bit of fresh rubber that they can to set the best time, with the track being the most rubbered up it's going to be. And then we go for 58 laps around the Albert Park Street Circuit.
Yeah, still gonna be a long night. So interesting to see what's going to happen here. As we've still got Kaya still to set a time. Let's have a look. We've got Aiden is rating up into P5 now. Both Williams in P6 and 7. Andre are looking likely that he likes Australia at the moment, and ahead of his teammate and TP. At the moment as well, but there's hardly anything in it at the moment between obviously P3 down. You've got obviously Flubber with a 15.1, then Lockie 2, exactly the same time as Aiden is Raiden as well. So that's a bit juicy to see. And then further down, you've got Andre in the 3s, and then indeed on the 4s, then the 5s, and then Swift and Pop Topper in the 5s as well. JF7 is in the 6s. One Truth is in the 6s. Wonton's in the 6s as well. And then Chandler's in the 7s. Rift in the 7s. Monero in the 9s. And Toast in the 9s as well. And also another thing to say here, Rikus, is... everyone scores points. Everyone scores points on this grid tonight with no DNFs.
Yeah, that's going to be a big one. You want to try to capitalize on those points, and particularly if you're McLaren, because McLaren now is not having the start to the season they would have wanted right now. They are 20 points behind Haas, and they are currently right in P10 in the overalls after Japan. So they are dead last at the moment. They want to have a good run of form here, and they want to try to improve. They want to try to jump up, at least out of dead last. You never want to be dead last. It's always a bit of a rough go when you are last. But McLaren, they're definitely going to want a good week here this week. Williams and Alpine, they're going to be in a pretty fierce battle as well. But the big battle in the overalls is going to be between the Kicks and the Mercedes teams. Only 9 points separates them from the lead in the overalls, and it is going to be a fight until then. Taking a look at the Div1 Constructors Championship, Ferrari is currently your team to beat. They currently have 95 points to Mercedes 74, so a good 21 points in between them right now. A lot of it is due to this man's sheer consistency and sheer dominance in the other stages of the season. He has won everything there is to win here except the Bahrain Sprint. But other than that, every Grand Prix victory has gone the way of Jonno. And we'll see if he can make it 4 for 4 tonight.
Yep. Just about to jump on board with Jonno actually now. He is about to start his out lap. He has done a 1:14.935. So here we go. Jonno's flying lap, ladies and gentlemen, for the last qualifying session of the night for Division 1. Gets across the line, goes into turn 1. Let's see if we are going to see an improvement. There, slides into turn 1 there. As you can see, we've seen a retirement there from Toast as well. So has he DNF'd? We'll have to wait and see. Coming into turn number 2, Jonno's really pushing that car as much as he can. He wants to try and get P1 because it's going to be a tester this race. 58 laps around here, ladies and gentlemen, tonight. 18 seconds to go. He's down on his time. Rift has left the session, so I will just get him back in. I'll let you take over with Jonno. Over to you, Rekus.
All right, he is making his way through the massive DRS zone. You can see all the trees flying up past, and now we're at the part where Jorgo had his unfortunate off earlier. This is a really easy place to get your lap down validated too, due to track limits. Going to get a bit of a tow from, I believe that was a Mercedes. Yeah, it was a Mercedes. And that is the timer done. We'll see if Jonno can jump up into pole position. The Ferrari is looking pretty lively at this stage. And here we go. Is he going to jump into pole position? He needs to only improve by 57 hundredths of a second. across the line. No, it is not an improvement for the Ferrari. He will stay in P2, and Bronson is invalidated, so he will not be improving. And now it is up to Pop Top, and Pop Top's not improving either. So I think Bronsta for Aston Martin will get pole position here tonight. A few more cars still trying to set laps here. The One Truth will be the next driver to come across the line. He does improve his time and position. He's up into 12th. Can his teammate make any improvements? What about the other McLaren of Ozzy Manero? His home track here tonight, and he's in the pits, so I think that is qualifying pretty much done and dusted here tonight. Bronson, pole position for the Aston Martin driver. Well done to him as part of the reigning overall champion. So we'll see what he can do. But Jonno is going to be so determined to make it 4 for 4. So, well, Bronson's got pole position. He doesn't have it easy here tonight.
No, definitely not. And Ferrari doing a fantastic job, 5th and 2nd as well in the top 5. So that what a great start for them. Lamb will be pretty chuffed with that, and really good to see Lockie making his way up through the right at the top as well. So interesting to see. And there you go. We are going for our classification results now. So Broadstar taking P1, Jonno taking P2, Flubber taking P3, Dido P4, Lockie P5, Aiden's Raiden P6. Does have a 5-second grid place penalty there, so that's unfortunate for him. But we've then got Pop Top, Andre Watanabe, and number 1 Smith, your top 10. Then we've got JF7. We've then got One Truth, Chandler's, Ozzy Minero, Rift, Toast, Kyotonic, and Giorgio and Mozza. Didn't set any times. One crashed, and the other one has a quali ban.
Yeah, I'm just going to see if I can look at it real quick. I'll look at the race director a little bit potentially right before we get started, because I'll see exactly what that 5-place pen is for. I didn't see anything come up on my screen, so we're gonna check that race director really quickly. No, mine's too late now, but yeah, that's not gonna be good for Aiden, a driver who's got a lot of momentum, pretty much riding right behind him tonight. He won the reserve program race, and now he's looking for another strong result. But that 5-place grid penalty is going to make things pretty difficult as we get ready for the first 100% race here in Season 10. It's going to be probably a 2-stop depending on safety cars. We're not expecting any rain as far as I am aware, but I feel like we've said that recently, and that did not go to plan. It did end up raining. I think it was actually Suzuka in Div 5 or Div 1, one of those two. Well, rain kind of came in like at the last couple of laps, but it was just not quite enough for inters. So, granted, I'm not a meteorologist by any stretch of the imagination, but I don't think we're going to see rain here. But I think for the most part, it's still probably going to be a 2-step. Probably medium to 2 sets of hards is probably going to be the strat, or a double medium and then a single set of hards. I don't really see the softs coming into play here unless a very, very late safety car is a factor. But, I mean, who knows? It's one of these 100% races. It is a big one. Massive endurance round here at Rush. It's going to be a long one. These races take about an hour and a half. So the drivers really got to lock in and stay laser focused. We'll see if Haas can recover from their DeHoster class of a qualifier, with one serving the quali ban and the other crashing out. We'll see if there's going to be improvement from the American outfit here tonight. And then we are just waiting on everybody to finalize themselves, finalize their fuel load, make sure everything is all gravy with the cars, and so they can get the maximum amount of performance here tonight. So real quick in the Twitch chat, drop your guys' predictions and we'll see how tonight goes. I am going to go ahead and say that through some circumstance, whether one that he can predict or one that he can't, I think Jonno's streak does actually end here tonight. I know he's very capable of going 4 for 4, but I think it's gonna not happen. But here we go. We'll see if it happens. We'll see if it doesn't. What we do know is we have lights out and away we go. And it is going to be Broad still leading us down into turn 1. Jonno, very nicely done, tucking right in, trying to stay in P2. And Dito drops in position to Locky. So, drama here in the back. Ozzy Minero all the way down, and Ozzy is spun. Jonno has left. So that's going to be calamity for him here tonight. A big gaggle of cars making their way through the first couple of corners. Rift moves up on position. And Jonno is kind of a bit of a sitting duck at the moment. Because he's not here at the moment. And his teammate just needs to get past him here. The two Ferraris will go side by side. And they're all just going to go past Jonno here. He is dropping like a stone here. I was say drop like a fly, but not exactly the right terminology here. But yeah, just in a few corners, Jonno's dropped from P1, or sorry, from P2 all the way down to P7. A rough start for the reigning champion.
Yeah, definitely. I've just invited him back, and also Rift let us know if you are back in the lobby tonight. We've got Broadstar leading the way with Flubber and Lockie, P1, P2, P3. We've got moves going on here. Remember, this is a long race. Do not do anything silly. We've got number 1 Swift and Aiden's Raiden, as well as we've got the Williams just in front. We've got the 2 V-Cabs together in 8th and 9th. Jonno down there in P10th. He has dropped like a stone on lap 2, and he has really caused some problems, and there's more drama there. Ooh. And his AI is getting involved. It's getting all over the place. It looks like he's lost a bit of front wing to someone in front as well. It's not going to plan for Jonno. He's still got a long way to go in this race. They are really having to take their time at the moment as Jonno goes round with the AI, and there you go. Giorgio gets the job done. We've got an Alpine at the back. There's making mistakes. Toast has dropped down into P18. Osminero down there in P19. And we're going to go a little bit further back up. We've got Rift as well. I don't know if Rift is in the lobby. Jonno, I've sent you an invite, mate. I sent you 2 invites. I can see, you know, I've got 3 going wide. The AI and the kick and the Alpine are going at it. We've got the Alpine and the kick going at it as well down there in P16, 17. Back up to the front.
Oh,
I'm trying to keep up here.
Oh, no, there's drama. The Alpine and the kick.
Who's round? Oh, they've another drama. Another bit of drama there. So we've got a lot going on already on this race. 2 laps out of 58, and we've got Jonno disconnecting, Rift disconnecting, the 2 Alpine, well, the Alpine and the kick going at it as well. Jonno is back with us, ladies and gentlemen. I tried to get him in as quick as I can. Pop top up into P4 now, taking the move on Lockie. A lot of drama on this race already, Wreckers. We're going to have to save our voices, mate. I hope you've got your water. I've got my coffee, and I've got my water. Back to you.
Well, considering that Red Bull is kind of having a bit of a mixed run here, I got Red Bull and water for tonight's race. But yeah, I mean, this has been chaos here at the start. Watanabe's wing was one that was busted by the AI earlier on. So I know Watanabe is not going to be a happy camper about that one. I mean, you got to feel bad for Jonno, because Jonno, if he didn't get disconnected, he would not be in the P16 by any stretch. We know how fast Jonno is. I mean, he's won pretty much the last 3 races. So he's on a massive hot streak right now. Reigning champion. As now Lockie, his teammate, is going to try to pick up the pieces. But one team that has really benefited from that is Haas. Because look at Haas. They started pretty much right at the back of the grid. And now they're up to P11 to P12. So not glamorous points, mind you, but they have moved up significantly since the start of this race. So what started off as the Hoster class is now potentially all part of the Hoster plan. So we'll see if the American effort can continue to improve here.
Oh, definitely. It also spices up as well. I know we don't want to see people disconnect and stuff, but Jonno down there in P15 with that front wing damage, that's really going to hurt him. He's got a long way to go in this race, so anything can happen here. He just needs to try and hold on, and he has got the cojones and he's got the experience to do it. But Broadstar just trying to pull away there from Flubber. Lockie getting 6 seconds on lap 4. That is not a good start for him. He's got 3 earlier on, and he's got another 3 down there in P6 at the moment. He's got Andre behind him at 6.5 attempts. Nice little DRS train from Pop Top all the way down to P9 there. And Aiden has raided the 2 V-Cubs in P8 and P9, one repping the pink and one repping the white. Tonic up into P10 as well. Started last, or just before last, with qualifying as well. So he's done very, very well so far. We've got the 2 Hasses, as you were saying earlier, Rekus, in P11 and P12. One Truth down there in P13. Everyone's still scoring points, even though it's a 14-second gap between Wonton and Chandler's. Anything can happen in this race. We saw what happened earlier on with the AIs and the incidents going on there. It's a long race to go, so it's going to be interesting to see. As we can see now, Flubber has pulled in Broadstar so that to that DRS 6.5 tenths. The question is next, will he be able to pull Dido and Pop Top into it as well? As now 1.7 seconds behind on lap 5.
Yeah, it's good to see that Mercedes is continuing to ride their momentum from last week into this one, because right now, as it sits, Mercedes will jump up into the lead of the overalls here. They're outperforming Kick Sauber by over 9 points at this point, because Chandler's had a very rough moment in the early stages of this one, getting caught up with Toasta and all the AI, and actually Broadsta is now kind of under a bit of pressure, as now it's going to be, Pop Top he got the move done on the Dido, so it's a Mercedes 2-3, Flubber trying to put pressure on the Broadsta now, trying to make everything happen, as Flubber is going to try to, he's pretty much reeled him in, so now Broadsta's got to be kind of checking over his shoulder a bit just to kind of see where Flubber is going to try to attack from here. And Flubber is going to try to close in the gap. He's got DRS. Broadsta doesn't, so he's going to be able to close that gap in very, very nicely here for the Mercedes team. We'll see if Dido, just a little bit further back, has a bit of a response. Popped up now leading that DRS train that goes all the way down from P3 to P6. Actually about to go to actually goes down now to P9, with Andre kind of being right smack dab in the middle of the DRS train here. So it's going to be interesting stuff in this race. You don't really want to try to go for too many heroics at the early stage. You still got an additional 52 laps to go after this one, so you really just want to try to settle in, as Dido's got JF7, JDI trying to bring the Thunder right behind him. Dido shakes for a little bit of defense, but he will hold on for right now. But JDI looking very, very punchy here as he continues to try to chase down the Williams of Dido, trying to chase down the Williams TP as we are about to begin lap number 7 here of this endurance race. We'll see how these guys are going to go ahead and hold on to it. JDI closing the gap little by little, but we'll see if he'll ever get close enough to make another move again.
Yeah, as you can see at the moment, Popped up that 2.7 seconds. He's doing a great job holding up these guys for his teammate at the moment, so Flubber can try and pull away. 2.6 second gap, so he might leave it to about 3.35 seconds and then start pushing. But the question is he going to be able to hold it? Because he's got Dido right behind him at the moment. There's a bit of a difference in battery. JF7 is really ready to pounce. He got very, very close to Dido in the graveyard as Dido is about to engage a move here. He goes on the left-hand side, gets the move done easy there on Pop Top into P3 very, very nicely there. Now he'll try and push on, so it's not worked for Mercedes. They've tried to do as much as they can, just near enough, just under 3 seconds. He's pulled a lead there. JF7 just moving at the dirty air there. trying to save those tyres. Will be interesting to see if they're going to do a 1-stop or a 2-stop. We'll have to wait and see on lap 7 out of 58. We're going to go a little bit further down at the moment. Number 1 Swift and Aiden's Raiden still in a good position. P8 and P9, they'll be happy. Both teammates together so they can work together. And we go a little bit further. We've got Kyatonic 2.9 seconds back from that, 1.7 back from that. The two Hasses working together. Jordan and Mozza, One Truth in P13, 1.8 seconds back. And Jonno is now in the DRS of One Truth. And he is in the lobby, which is really good to see. Rift is 4.4 seconds back, but he's on the hard compound tyres, so he will be going longer. Does have damage to that front left as well, though. So a little bit unfortunate there. Then he's got Ozzy Minero right behind him as we see Jonno does get One Truth up into P13. Jonno is making places, but at the moment, he is 14 seconds behind the leader, so it's not over yet on lap 8 out of 58. A little bit further back up to the top. JS7 is ready to pounce on Pop Top. Does he get a move done? Going into the graveyard. Gets over. Doesn't make the move. Gets closer. Saves that battery. We've then got Aiden and number 1 Swift who've decided to switch. Then we get a little bit further back up again. We've got Pop Top still in that P4 as JF7 makes the move on the right. No, he doesn't. Stays in behind within formation. No one's doing anything silly. What about Flubber? Does he try and get Broadstar down the main straight with the DRS? Let's have a look. 7.5 temps, 6.5 temps. It doesn't look like it. They're just saving battery and just trying to pull away. But at the moment, no one is really making any moves. The closest battle to look at is JF7, Pop Top, and Dido for the time being. Back to you, Rekus.
Yeah, I think Flubber, for the most part, is just going to do what he can to stay within DRS range. I think that's going to be his number one goal, because he will know that there's still a lot of racing left to go, so he doesn't need to do any heroics really at this stage of the race. He really just needs to try to just kind of stick within and then just operate with the goals that the team has given him. His engineers probably have given him performance targets like, hey, you'll definitely want to be in the lead around lap 11. I'm just throwing a number out there just for example, but they'll give him a target. They'll say, hey, try to be in P1 by this point so we can get a good pit stop. Because you want to be ahead by the time you get into the pits. That's going to be Flubber's number one objective here. But he's got a good amount of time before those medium tires really start to fall off a cliff, especially in these longer endurance races. The tire wear does change ever so slightly. So we'll see if Broadster can hold on here and do what he needs to try to be P1 by the time his pit stops come around. Flubber is going to try to take away that P1 as the pit stops come around. It'll still be a while, I think. Probably won't see it until we hit about maybe the 20s or 30s, I think. Probably. We do still have that massive DRS train from P3 all the way down to P9. All those guys still within a massive DRS train here as they're all trying to jockey for a position. Dido now still leading the train. He is the conductor at the moment, as Pop Top now is going to try to stay close, but he doesn't have a lot of battery to play with here, so he may be able to actually looks like he does have a good amount of battery to use on his steer wheel, so we'll see if he can go ahead and try to use all that power to kind of trade places with Dido again. And yeah, he's just going to fire it around the outside. Dido isn't going to fight it, but he will fight to stay within DRS range, because as soon as you lose that DRS range, then that's when you start to get into some serious trouble. But now Pop Top is going to try to back up this pack again to allow Flubber just kind of clear room to operate and try to hunt down Broadster here tonight.
Yeah, it's looking like it's going to be a bit of a switch around with the DRS as well. As JF7 is still behind Dido at the moment. It's switching around between Dido and Pop Top a little bit further down. They've still got a nice little battle going on there as Aiden is getting quite close to Andre. Lockie with that 6-second time penalty as well. That will hurt him later on in the race. We've got Mini Giorgio that's got the job done on Kaya, so he's up into P10, 4.1 seconds back. Are they making any time on number 1 Swift? We'll just keep an eye out on the Hasses at the moment, 4.2, 4.3, so not at the moment, but it's not the biggest gap. Only 4 seconds, you see, so safety cars can change things up. Obviously, when they pit as well, that will change things up. So everyone's still in this as well. So it's going to be interesting to see But that P3 position at the moment, 3.3 seconds back to his teammate in P2. Doing a great job so far. Mercedes, if they are planning this, if this is their plan, that they are wanting to try and hold up the rest of the pack so Flubber can just try and stay with Broadstar and continue on in this race. We see Jonno there gets the job done on Mozza up into P12 with the DRS, and very well done there. He'll now try and gauge a move with Kyotonic. We'll jump on board with the POV of Jonno, see what he can do, see if he takes the move. Yes, he goes on the outside, on the right-hand side, gets the job done, and Jonno up into P11. He's making overtakes, and we nearly saw a move going on there behind with Mozza and Kyo. No, now we're seeing Andre and number one Swift. Number one Swift, someone's lost it. Lockie's lost it. He's on the straight and he's going very slow down there in P9. Issue there for the Ferrari. So now he's only one spot in front of his teammate in Jonno in P11. But he's now 1.9 seconds back from Andre. So a bit of a mistake there. That now brings Aiden's Raid up into P6 and number one Swift into P7. So a few changes that we're seeing at the top there now.
Yeah, a good amount of changes, and actually a little bit of contact earlier between Mozza and Kyotonic there as Jonno was getting through. So I don't think that resulted in any damage for the two as far as I can see. No, they're both okay. Jonno now is going to try to make the most. I mean, he's really been dealt a bad hand here. He qualified super well, P2, only by 57 hundredths of a second, but that disconnect really threw a wrench into him and Ferraris works. I mean, it feels like the whole team took a bit of a hit after that one, but Jonno is now up into P10. He's back up into the top 10. But the question now really becomes is, does Lockie kind of try to slow down a bit to try to give Jonno DRS? Or does Lockie kind of just stay put and Jonno wants to try to work his way back up? Curious to see what the strategy is for Ferrari, and Dito's had a bit of a moment, it looks like. Either that or he's just made a pit stop, which is kind of unlikely at this range. We'll see. Yes or no stop for Dito, and Dito's off. Dito's off the track.
He's in the wall.
Oh, he's having some connection issues, I think, and he's in the wall, yeah. So Dito having a rough go at things as well. I think his internet's kind of fighting him because he's teleporting all over the place. Bit of a rough one there, and that is a VSC has been called out. And it looks like there actually might be a bit more drama than initially anticipated. So it is a VSC. And the interesting thing about a VSC is that it can disappear at any time here, SJ.
Oh yeah, people are going to have to be switched on now. I don't know what's going on with Dito. He's appearing, he's not appearing. He's on the track now, down 44 seconds behind. So his race is, he's not going to be happy with that. I don't know what's happened there. If he's lost connection, lost his wheel or something, I don't know, but he was in a great position and now dropping down into P19, so we will not be happy with that. DRS is enabled. We are green racing again. Flubber does get very, very close to the back of Broadstar. Does he make a move with the DRS? We'll jump on board with the POV at the moment. We've got literally 2.5 attempts. Does he make a move? No, he's going to stay with him, but we will stay on board POV here with Flubber just to see what happens here. 3.4 seconds to his teammate at the moment. JF7 now up into P4. Aiden's Raid into P5. Swift P6. Andre P7. Lockie and Jonno P8 and 9. Mini Giorgio in P10. Kyotonic in P11. Mozza in P12. One Truth P13. Rift P14. Ozymanero P15. Chandler's P16. Watanabe in 17th. Toast in 18th. And Dito down in 19th. So let's have a look. Flubber not making a move on Broadstar for the time being, so saving his battery. Let's have a look here, but we've got a move going on here between JF7 and Pop Top as JF7 is now into P3. Fantastic job there. Pop Top down into P4. Rift 3-second time penalty down there in P14. We've got drama happening in this race very early on. Lap 14 out of 58. It's slowly getting through these laps very quickly now, Rekus.
Yeah, a lot of these drivers have found their flow state and they're just going with it, trying to pretty much just kind of stay settled because now it's pretty much just a race to the pit stops. is what's going to go on for these drivers' minds. If it's a two-stop, you'll probably see it around lap in the 20s, I would imagine. There's a very slow moving Williams. I think that might have been Andre having a bit of an issue there. Oh, there's a bit of drama potentially. Oh, it's Dito. It's Dito's Williams that's moving very slow. So his night is just keeps going from bad to worse here, as he had to let a bunch of cars pass. So he is definitely a lap down at this stage. He's almost a minute behind Toasty. So he might have to actually retire after this one. We'll see. He will score points if he finishes though, but yeah, that's unfortunate there for Dito. He was really hoping for a strong week this time around, but I mean, maybe for his other Williams compatriots, but for right now, it is not exactly smooth sailing for the team in blue, as Jonno is now up into P8 with a good amount of a task out of him trying to catch Andre, who's currently in the DRS range of Swift in the red, or the V-carb. The pink V-carb now under a little bit of pressure from the Gulf Williams. So we'll see if he can get this done. Aiden just up the road is trying to put pressure on the JDI. Popped up back up into P3 as it sits right now. So it's really pretty much just a race to the pit stops here, SJ.
Yeah, we've got Jonno coming into the pits, going on to a set of soft tyres. Interesting strat there. We do have an onboard, so we'll jump on board with that. We've got JF7, so Rekus, if you could just jump on board with that, that'd be awesome. But yeah, it is. It's a matter of strategy now and trying to stay with the pack, stay with the DRS. We've seen this race change quickly, very, very quickly from start to finish. We saw Dito up there in the top 5, now down into P19. We've seen Jonno dropping even further now due to the pit stop. We're getting onto them softs and obviously losing connection. We've seen a lot of changes in the top 3 with Pop Top, JF7 and Dito. JF7 getting very, very wide there on the grass, losing a little bit of time to Pop Top, but Mercedes will be over the moon as this stands. They would want this race to finish now because they've got a P2 and a P3 and possibly could even get even a better result depending on how this race pans out, because Flubber is in the DRS of Broadstar, and if he can get closer to him then he could probably even take the lead of this race. Here we go, lap 16, just got a couple more corners before we jump off of JF7 as Bunkin Bronco has requested that, so thank you very much for jumping in tonight. We've got Riff down there in P13. He is on those 15 lap hards, so they'll start to come into it in a bit and he'll start to make some overtakes on those mediums as we see Jonno is trying to get past Chandler's on those softs, and these two have had coming together before, but does he make slight work of him? Yes, he does. Is Chandler's going to fight him? No, he's not. Jonno straight through up into P11 as well, so fantastic job by him, and that is your onboard for JF7, who's still, I'm going to stay with him because he's in the DRS of Pop Top. We've got yellows, and that might be, I'm trying to work out who that is. It might be someone moving out the way. Does JF7 get to him? No, he doesn't. Pop Top goes a little bit wide. He's going to get a bit of a slipstream, and Pop Top gets a 3-second. So JF7's going to come back at him. Does he make a move on the right-hand side? Yes, he does. He tries and holds his line. Pop Top goes round. They're going to go side by side, coming in to the last couple of corners. He's still got the lead, and there you go. JF7 up into P3, and we've got yellows at the back, which is Lockie, and is he round? He's in the gravel and he's round again down into P10. It's not going good for one of the Ferraris tonight.
Yeah, Ferrari's had a bit of a rough night here tonight. It's not been really great for either driver at this point. I mean, it's been a good recovery attempt for Jonno, but still down to P11. Not exactly the spot he wanted to be tonight, but Aiden now. I mean, Aiden was kind of right there in the mix with JF7 and Pop Top, so it's good to see these guys all battling it out. Aiden trying to get a good result here. V-Carb is a team that's kind of flying under the radar here tonight because they're having a fantastic race to really get this one going. Aiden is up 6 positions, Swift up 3. Haas also having a pretty good run as well with Jorgo up 10 and Mazda up 5. So a bit of a lot of movement here in this grid tonight. You love to see it. You love to see all the different action happening on track. Some parts were definitely very, very unfortunate, but I know some teams they'll just take the opportunity to score massive points here tonight. It is a very good opportunity to score a massive world of points, especially if you're on Mercedes. Now Mercedes having a bit of a tougher time, but now we're seeing the first round of pit stops here as Prost and Flubber come into the pits.
Yeah, good strategy there. Obviously covering the leader there. So JF7 takes the lead with Pop Top in P2 and Aiden's Raiden in P3. And yeah, like you said about VCAP tonight, fantastic. P3 and P4, probably a bit of underdogs at the moment in this race of how things are going. Aiden's Raiden, we saw in the reserve program, he was very, very quick, but he's in the DRS of Pop Top. He's got his teammate behind, 2.1 seconds back. He has got Andre in the DRS, just in the DRS, 7.5 temps, 18 laps. So I think we're going to start to see the top 7 make a pit stop. Kyotonic up into P7. He is 1.2 seconds back from Mini Giorgio. Giorgio 6.4 behind Andre at the moment. So yeah, it's interesting. It's going to be very interesting to see how this is going to end up. As we're seeing overtakes happening here as Andre gets the move done on number 1 Swift up into P4 and Pop Top up into P2 as JF7 is leading this race. Pop Top with that 3-second time penalty. That will hurt him if there is a late safety car later on. And there we go. Sick Party asking for tyres, please, Wreckers. Are we going to see any of these guys going into the pits? No, no, and no. What about the others? No, no. So top 5 still continuing out. What about Mini Giorgio? Is he going to go in? No, he's staying out. Kyotonic staying out. So there you go. The 7 runners are still continuing on those mediums. 20 laps out of 58.
Yeah, this is actually where I was expecting a lot of the mediums to really start to begin to drop off here. I wasn't actually expecting anyone to really come in before lap 20, but the engineers they got more strategic minds than I do. They got better strategies lined up for their guys here. As we are going to see here, we'll see how these drivers do hold on with these aging medium tires now as they make their way down the massive DRS straight. Pop Top Bongo gonna try to look for a move, try to at least jump up into the lead coming into the pits. He knows he's got that penalty that he's gonna have to deal with, but he's just gonna get his head down and focus on the race ahead. JDI driving a bit defensively there, positioning his car to where Pop Top really didn't have an easy avenue through. And now we will see where these guys come out after the pit stops. We'll see if anyone takes it. Nope, they're going on to lap number 21 on this set of tires. Their tires are now 20 laps old. So we will see. It's going to be a bit of a tricky one to see how the strategy game does play out. I know I said earlier that potentially, oh, what has gone on here? Something in the pits, maybe? I see. I'm not sure what that was, to be quite honest with you there, SJ, but it is cleared up. No safety car this time around, which is going to be a sigh of relief for some drivers, but I'm pretty sure these guys are still out on their original set of tires. They wouldn't mind a safety car at this point.
Yeah, definitely pushing those mediums to a big stint as well. 20 laps on those mediums, doing a really, really good job so far. But the problem is Broadstar is only 4.5 seconds behind number 1 Swift. So these guys are going to miss out massively because he is only 8 seconds behind the leader. So going the longest stint may have hurt them. Ada's Raiden, though, up into P2, and I think he may have wanted to get that move done because I reckon we are going to see these guys pit. Let's have a look. JF7 coming in. Yes. No. Yes, we do. We do see Aiden's Raiden. So he did make that move to try and get past Pop Top to get into the pits. And the guys continue. What about number 1 Swift? He's going to continue as well. Mini Giorgio's going to continue. Wow. And we're going to see Kyotonic. Is he going to continue as well? Yep. Oh, nearly loses it going around the final corner there as well. So, yeah, got to be very careful. But Broadstar, 3.1 seconds behind number 1 Swift, but he's got Flubber, 1.9 seconds. So he's gained 1.8 seconds to Flubber at the moment. So, yeah, Broadstar will be pretty happy with that, Reckless, because he's not within the DRS of Broadstar.
Yeah, that's not exactly ideal there. If you are Flubber, you want to try to be within that DRS range, especially on this track. It can be a pretty high-speed track at points, so you're going to really just have to try to fight and try to push that Mercedes to its absolute limit to try to go ahead and try to close that gap back up. And actually, Bronson, I think, is pulling away little by little here, so Bronson doing everything he can to bring Aston Martin a win here in Melbourne in the first 100% race of the season. Bit of racing, bit of battling happening just behind as Mazda, who's having a very strong race here today, is currently up into P10. And then you just behind you got Andre and Chandler's doing battle. Andre getting the move done up into P11. And now we see JDI and Swift make their pit stops. So, there's only 2 drivers who have stayed out. Actually, I think 3 drivers. So, okay, Kiotonic's in the pits as well. So, Pop Top and Jorgo really the only ones to stay on those original set of medium tires. So, the question now becomes is, how long do these guys go on this tire? Because at this point, it's looking pretty clear that Pop Top is going to go for the one-stop strategy, and maybe Jorgo might be in the same boat trying to stick with a one-stop here. So, interesting stuff here tonight. One of the things I was looking forward to coming into this race was the strategy, because when you have this 100% race, you can do the one-stop, you can do two-stop. On some tracks, you even have to do a three-stop. So, strategy just gets amplified to the max whenever you're doing a 100% race here.
Yeah, definitely. The question is you don't want to go too much and lose too much time and then go down to the bottom of the grid. So at the moment, popped up on those 23 laps. He's 1.5 seconds. Is this a little bit of teamwork here? Does he try and hold Broadstar up and bring Flubber into it? Is that the plan? We'll have to wait and see as it's getting very, very close to. We'll jump on board with Aiden as Raiden, who does get the job done on Jonno. So Jonno has decided to go on those softs. I think this may not be his night tonight, so he's going to just do his best as well he can. We'll jump on board with Aiden as Raiden on the next lap for you, Mars, as you've got an OB there. But Pop Top trying to do his best to try and hold up Broadstar, but I don't think it's going to be enough because Broadstar is right on the back of him, and he's going to get him before the DRS there, but he's burned a lot of his battery, and Pop Top cannot fight it, and he's not going to fight it anymore. Will he get him in the second part here? Let's have a look. No, Pop Top's not going to do anything silly. He's on very, very old tyres. And here comes his teammate, 2.3 seconds back. And he is flying as fast as he can to try and get Broadstar. And he's losing time to Broadstar as well. Earlier on, he was right there with him, and now he's not. So, gonna have to pull something out the bag here, Flubber, to catch Broadstar, because he is on fire at the moment and he's on great form. JF7 overtakes Jonno as well, and Aiden as Raiden is getting very, very close to the back of Mini Giorgio. So here you go, Matt. Rekas, I'll let you take it over to Aiden's Raiden on an onboard.
All right, here we go. So he's going to go in and get a massive slipstream here from the Haas just up the road ahead, making his way down into turn 1. Getting a little bit on the grass there, turn 1 and 2. He's going to try to line up a pass here. And that is going to be as easy as you'd like it. He is up into P4 at the moment, but he does have JDI just behind, looking very, very punchy as well. So you got to be real careful to this sector of the track, because this is probably the most dangerous part of the track for time penalties, as Watanabe gets one himself. 3-second time penalty there for the Aston, as now Aiden is Raiden. He does have to kind of keep his eyes in the back of his head. He does have JDI behind. JDI can try to make a move up the inside with the DRS. That's a pretty easy move there. And now Aiden is going to try to stick right behind the Southwest and Southern will get even more DRS because of the 2-part DRS zone. Hard on the brakes. He's still going to try to stay with it. No, he's currently still within DRS range of the Kick Sauber just up the road. And Dino gets a 10-second time penalty for ignoring a blue flag as Aiden finishes out the lap. He's going to try to close the gap in to JDI, but just a bit too much real estate in between the cars. And I mean, honestly, he really, once again, really doesn't need to do any heroics at this point. He's just trying to maximize his position for maybe his next pit stop, unless these tires do get to the end. But even then, you don't want to burn out those tires too quickly, so the conservative approach is probably going to help him out pretty nicely here.
Is he going too long? Is that the problem? Is he going too long on these mediums? 25 laps now, and he's got he's 2 seconds behind his teammate. He's got the 3 second as well. Is he derailing his strategy here? As we see, Aiden gets the move done on to JF7, and JF7's dropped position there. So Aiden's Raiden now up into P4, looking at a P3 as Pop Top does have to pit. So let's have a look. Is Pop Top going to come in now? He is really fighting that car. I think that's about time, mate. You make a pit stop. Yes, it is. No, it's not. Yes, it is. He does come in. Doesn't look like he was going to come in, but he has come in. So how far is Pop Top going to drop down the order? Let's have a look. So he's P3 currently, getting onto a set of hards, down to P5, P6. Let's have a look. P8, P9. Here comes Chandler's. There's Pop Top. There's Chandler's. There's Pop Top. There's Chandler's. Oh, it's going to be close, but he does get out into P9. So he's now 24 seconds behind the leader, and he's got Chandler's right behind him looking for a move, doesn't get the move done, and there we go. So I don't know, interesting strat there. He's dropped all the way down into P9 behind number 1 Swift as well on those fresh hards against 4 lap in front, as we see Aiden's Raiden and JF7 swap places again. Big thing here, records to notice, is that Broadstar 3.6 seconds in front of Flubber. That has been the biggest gap that these two have had all night.
Yeah, Broadstar's definitely firing on all cylinders here tonight. I mean, he pretty much saw that Jonno did not have the start that he wanted. I mean, Jonno is up into P5, so still good points for the Ferrari, for our current championship leader and reigning champion here in Div1, but Broadstar just sees the opportunity, and he's going to take it. He's going to do what he can to get a win here tonight, because this is probably one of his best opportunities to get one, considering the massive hot streak that Jonno was on in the last 3 weeks coming into this week. So he was on such a strong hot streak there, but all hot streaks burn out eventually, and I think it was going to happen at some point to Jonno, but definitely not like this. This is definitely not the way it wanted to happen, but he has definitely made the most of the position he's in. He's back up into P5 as it sits right now, so getting a good amount of use out of that soft tire compound, but the question is, when is he going to pit in? Because is he going to be in a 3-stop due to what happened earlier on? Because maybe a set of hards might get into the end at this point, but it is a very, very interesting strategy call here from the Ferrari guys. But it seemingly worked out pretty well for Jonno. Now Aiden's Raiden is going to try to close in the gap to JF7 here as these guys get ready to do battle yet again. A bit further down, Kiyotonic is now going to try to reel in Jorgo. But Jorgo, here's the thing. Jorgo's on some pretty new tires comparatively, so he's going to have a good run of things. And yep, Jonno's in the pits now, so he's going to go into the hards, and they'll try to carry these hards until the end of the race.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting. How far is he going to fall down? One Truth is coming down the main straight. He's going to pip Jonno. And is Mini Giorgio going to get him as well? Jonno now coming out the pit exit. Mini Giorgio's there. Jonno just makes it, but Mini Giorgio is going to have better tyres. So let's have a look. As Mini Giorgio is about to make a move. Does he make a move coming down into turn number 2? No, he doesn't. So Jonno does get out into P12. He is now 36 seconds behind the leader. We are not even just beyond halfway now. Well, just under halfway. So he has got a lot to do. He's got penalties in front of him. He is on the quicker tyres. But if anything happens within safety car, this is going to change this race up massively as Chalmers gets very, very close to Lockie and looks to make a move there. Doesn't make a move. There's a big battle going on there, though. But he's on 28 lap hard, so he's really pushing the distance. The same with Rift as well. He's on those hards, so they're going to be very, very quick when they get onto those set of mediums as well. Everyone in the points at the moment, even though the Dino has had a massive struggle tonight, unfortunately due to connection issues, still going to score points. Toast as well. It's been a struggle for him tonight as well in the Alpine back into Division 1 tonight. Ozzy Minero as well, 5.1 seconds back to Wonton. And Wonton earlier had a bit of an incident as well. So there's been a lot of struggles for a lot of guys. But VCAB tonight having a great night. And the same with Mercedes as well. VCAB in P4 and P6. And Mercedes in P2 and P8. But the problem is, Rekus, Flubber is not catching Broadstar.
Yeah, not even slightly. No, he's actually losing more time by the lap. Currently about 5 seconds back, so Broadstar is now just kind of checked out and just running away with this one as it sits right now. But someone who is not running away with this one is JF7. He does have Aiden as Raiden just behind. He's trying to run away there from the RB, but Aiden has been on the ball. He's done good at this track in previous times. He has won the reserve program race here most recently, so Aiden is getting a very good result here for the Racing Bulls. Racing Bulls in general is getting a really, really strong result here as he chases down JDI through the first DRS zone on this Albert Park Street circuit. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the rest of strategy plays out. We are over halfway through this Grand Prix now. Lap 31 out of 58. And we'll see how the strategy does unfold. Jorgo and One Truth switching positions on the DRS straight. Andre now joins the penalty club. One Truth joined the penalty club as well. So quite a few drivers getting penalties at this stage. As Andre's got 3, Pop Top's got 3, One Truth's got 3. We have a yellow. Oh, Keo and One Truth getting into it on turn 1. So they are not going to be happy about that one. I will say, I just feel bad for the stewards because I think they have a lot of instant tickets they're going to have to go through tonight.
I don't think there's that many. I think it's been quite clean from what I've seen at the top. Obviously early on, I think it all happened in the first 4 laps, didn't it, really? So it'd be interesting to see what happens here as Alpine and McLaren still going at it as well. And obviously one of them is under fueled. As you can see the yellow light there for One Truth. So that might be a little bit of a worry. He's burning a lot of his ERS to try and get away from Kaio in that P14 spot at the moment. We're a little bit further back up. We've got Mozza, who's just been overtaken there by Pop Top. 16 laps to 5 laps, so a lot fresher tyres. Pop Top now trying to rein in at number 1 Swift in that P7 spot with that 3-second time penalty. The question is now, Rekus, will these guys be able to get to the end without getting any penalties? Because if they do, then that's great. If they don't, then obviously it's going to make it more difficult. But now we are starting to see Pop Top get into a bit of traffic with number 1 Swift in front. Andre, Aiden as Raiden, all within that DRS as well. So it's going to be interesting to see here, and Pop Top's going to be in a great position to be on very, very fresh tyres and get the move done. So maybe going the longest stint was the idea to do. We've asked for tyres, so drop onto tyres again, Rekus will do. But I can let you know, every single person from P1 to P19 is on the hard compounds.
Yeah, so everybody pretty much on the same tires. The only real advantage is just tire age here at this stage. So I think a lot of these drivers are going to try to get these tires to the end. So Um, Chandler's might be the only one who might have to make a pit stop. I think he'll probably be the only one who's going to have to switch tires now at this point, unless a safety car comes out or the weather drastically changes, which it's not exactly outside the realm of possibility, but it's not super likely either. So um, it'll be interesting. Aiden is right now trying to pretty much overtake JF7 here, but he's not at the best part of the track to do it, so he's really just trying to hold on until he gets to that DRS range, and we will see. Aiden now is going to continue on. Keotonic now getting a 3-second time penalty himself. He will join the penalty club here tonight, as a good amount of drivers do have those track limit violations. Aiden makes the move on the DRS zone. Easy like it. He'll get a little bit extra DRS as well to try to run away here from JF7. And that'll help him out a little bit, but we will see if the V-Car man can hold on. As Toasted gets a 3-second time penalty for track limit violations. Lots of track limits going on here tonight, SJ. It is an easy track to do that because you don't have a lot of curbing. It's mostly just a little rumble strip and then grass.
Yeah, interesting to see. I just looked at a little bit of the stat here. Jonno has, well, the last 3 laps, he's made 3 seconds, but he's still 30 seconds behind, so he's not making it quick enough. This is going to be a very, very tall ask. He's 6.6 seconds to Mozza in P8 currently at the moment. So, yeah, going to be interesting to see. It's just basically what happens in front of him, really, is going to be the conundrum to find out what's going to happen in this race as well. So, as we do see, you've got Andre in Pop Top with them penalties as well. Jonno has got his teammate behind with that 6 seconds, but then he's free air. So the question is he going to be able to do it again? Because if these guys decide to, pit and go onto the mediums, it's going to be really interesting for, Jonno to try and even get the top 3. So keep an eye on that, though, because still plenty of time. The question is, Reckers, concentration may start to dip around about that lap 38-40 mark, and there's going to leave 18 laps to go. So are we going to see some concentration dip a little bit? Because at the moment, Broadstar just seems to be in the zone. 6.1 seconds out in front, and he's making time on Flubber, not losing it, and they're both on the same distance of tyres.
I mean, sometimes I'm not sure exactly how these drivers do it. Maybe Bronson might have some very intense music playing in his headset. Maybe he's got some really intense Eurobeat going. I heard that's a really popular one, especially for guys doing races at the Nürburgring and such. But so maybe Bronson's got some really hype EDM or some other kind of insert music genre here, blasting through his headset. Trying to go through as JD's going to try to blast into P3. But it's going to be interesting to see because, I mean, we would have already been done with a race if this was a normal race. We would have probably already been at least getting to the point where we'd start working on interviews and then we would pretty much just be done from there on. So we're already well over
apologies.
normal race distance. But so these drivers are going to be tired. They're going to start feeling it as somebody's in the pits, and it looks like it's Dito having a bit of a deep send into the pits.
Yeah, he's not had the best of nights after a fantastic week last week, finishing runner-up of Team of the Week and second highest team of scoring points, and not the start that Ian's Williams team would want. Andre, though, on the other hand, is doing a phenomenal job in that P6 position, back in that seat, missing last week. He's got number 1 Swift for company, though, in that P7, 2 lap fresher tyres. Does have that penalty as well, though, so he's both on 3 there with Pop Top and Andre as well, but he has got a lot older tyres than Pop Top, and as you can see, Pop Top is now 1.6 seconds out in front. Most of these guys are trying to fill the gaps there, but we've got JF7 and Aiden is Raiden. They're just literally switching around. I don't know if these two are trying to work together and trying to bring that gap down, but they are bringing that gap down to Flubber. It was 4.6, now 4.4. So if they keep working with the DRS, they seeming to catch. Remember, they're on lap 13 and 14 to Flubber's 17. So they are railing him in pretty quick as well. That's 3.9 seconds already. So 4.6 to 4 seconds. These guys are flying in P3 and P4, and I think they're wanting that podium off Flubber.
I mean, it's doable. So we'll see. I mean, there's still a lot of racing left to go here on lap 37. So, I mean, we've said it time and time again, anything can happen here in racing. And it looks like JDI might have had a bit of a snap coming through the corner. Not too sure exactly. Looked like a bit of a snap, but Aiden is still going to try to keep everything close. As Lockie is now into the pits, so he's going to make another tire change as well. The Ferrari man dropping down a little bit here, as now these guys are going to continue racing on, as Broadster's now pretty much checked out. He's pretty much doing exactly what he needs to. Did have a bit of a snap himself, so we'll see how he can try to finish up this race here. It's been a very good race for him and Aston. Jonno now up into P8, trying to make moves happen in that Ferrari, but it is much, much easier said than done here, especially considering the torrid race start that he had here today with the disconnection, with the server shenanigans. But now we jump back up to P4. We'll see if Aiden is rated and can close the gap to JDI. He will close a little bit, but not nearly enough to make that overtake happen.
Yeah, I'm seeing here this is going to be a nice little battle between P2, P3 and P4, and if Pop Top can get into that as well, because they are raining down them seconds to Flubber. It's now 2.3. He's losing a lot of time, so and he is only on 19 lap halves as well. So the question is, if you are joining us, we are on lap 38 out of 58. 20 laps of racing remaining here for the 100% round 4 at Albert Park, and Raiden has got the job done on JF7. They are flying, these two. I think they're working together to try and bring them in. It looks like they are, but you can see one stop down from Broadstar to number 1 Swift, 2 stop Jonno, P9 all the way down to P11, 1 stop, then Mozza and Lockie on a 2 stop, Chandler's on a 1 stop, One Truth on a 2 stop, Wonton on a 2 stop, Rift on a 1 stop, and Toast and Dido on 2 stops. Looking at position changes, Broadstar has stayed where he is. Flubber's gained 1 position. He's coming in. There you go, Rekus. Oh no! He's got a 10! He's got a 10 on lap 39! Oh, that is absolute scenes here for Mercedes. They're not going to be happy with that. I was just about to do position changes, but it's going to mix it all up now because everyone's making stops. So, what do we see JF7 and Aiden as Raiden do? Do they end up going for a pit stop after? Because they may be out in front. Let's have a look. Where does Flubber fall out? He comes out in P7 with a 10-second penalty. And Jonno is up into P6. He is now 24 seconds from the leader on fresh hards. And if you were to take them another 10 laps, that'll take him to lap 50. Jonno might be able to go the end here. I reckon Jonno might be able to go the end here. So keep an eye on Jonno. But we're going to have to wait and see what happens here. I'm going to keep an eye out on JF7 and Aiden Raiden to see if they do decide to make the pit stop and, maybe even go for the mediums to the end or even another set of hards. Let's have a look. Broadstar's in. He's called it. He's happy. So Aiden's Raiden, what's JF7 going to do at Aiden's Raiden? No, they continue. They're going to go again. So I would go 1 more lap if I was you, Rekus, and then pit to try and get the job done on Flubber. That would be my key.
Yeah, honestly, because I mean JDI is gonna have the DRS now, so he's gonna be able to gain a few tenths at least, trying to make his way through. So as long as him and Aiden is ready to cooperate with each other a bit here and try to work with each other a bit here, then I think both are actually gonna come out ahead of Flubber at this stage with about 19 laps to go, including this current one. It'll be a tough battle but I think JDI and Aiden, they both have pace here tonight, and I think they're both gonna just stick it out and try to stay ahead of Flubber here. As now Mazza now has got fastest lap. I think he got a penalty as well, I think, but
Nope.
no, he does not. So somebody else got a track limit violation. I think I saw a bit earlier, but Mazda does have the fastest lap of the race so far. That'll be an extra point to Haas, and they definitely need points at this stage. But they've had such a good comeback here in this one. This popped up has got disconnected, so that is going to be a bit of drama if that's anything to go by. A bit of contact between Pop Top's AI and Bronsta now. Oh, look at the contact. Look at the battling. The AI has definitely got aggressive here as it pulls Pop Top Bongo into the pits.
Oh no.
Mercedes keeps going from bad to worse.
I've just sent him an invite as well. Oh no, that is massive. Flubber now into P6, popped up in a P7. He's come onto a fresh set of hards. Not the worst. He's going to be quick, but I don't know. Where's he going to come out? There's Andre. He gets him down into P9. He gets out in front of Kyo. He's joined back in, thank God. Let's go back up to the front. I honestly now would say Aiden and JF7 need to pit. They need to pit to try and get in front of Flubber. That would be the key because, I don't know, they're not going to do it. They're 15 seconds back now. So, yeah, they're not going to be able to go to the end. So they're going to have to make a pit stop, but they need to cover something. But I don't know, 8 seconds. Broadstar's 8 seconds behind. They can't physically go to the end on those tyres. Let's have a look. They come around in the final corner now. Mediums. Got to be mediums or hards or... No, they're going to go again. So this is going to be interesting because Broadstar is 7.7 seconds behind JF7 and Aiden. And this is a great night for VCAB as well. I've got to say, P1 and P5. Stick Party has asked for tyres. So there we go. Everyone is on the hards. We've got Chandler's on the mediums and Rift on the mediums. And Winter has requested something. Let's have a look. What have you requested, Winter? I'm just trying to see what you've requested. Surprise interview. Okay, well, yeah, if you want to jump in, then all good. Right, we've got 3 second time penalty there. JF7 and Raiden are going at it as well. They are the ones leading and P2 in this race, but they don't want to keep messing around because Broadstar is hot on their heels, 6.7 seconds behind. Lap 42 out of 58. Everyone's going to start to be sweating. Everyone's going to start to feel it now. It's going to start to get a lot more difficult now as it is getting to the closing stages of this race. Jonno, though, is up to P4 as it stands. We have a lot of penalties. We have got, let's have a look. We've got 10 for Flubber. That's massive for Mercedes tonight. Giorgio, he's 10 seconds back from Flubber, so he'll only drop 1 spot as it stands at the moment. So not the worst. Giorgio down into 3. Andre into 3. Pop Top with 3. Kyo with 3. Lockie with 6. Then we have got Ozumino with 3. One Truth with 3. One Tom with 3. Rift with 3. Toast with 3. And now we have a surprise interview, and I think it is Zombie. So Rekas, take it away.
Alright, Zombie, well, welcome to the comms box for your surprise interview. How are you feeling tonight? How have you been enjoying tonight's Grand Prix here?
Well, I just noticed the 2 Mercedes have just gone downhill within 5 laps, so that is pretty heartbreaking for Flubber, and obviously Pop Top's AI pitting, which is very, very unfortunate. But I hope, I think Pop Top can make a lot of places back, and Flubber making moves right at the moment. So, the race is not over. Still more than 10 laps to go, so we'll see what happens from there.
So I know in the next couple of days you're going to have your 100% race around this very track. Do you think that watching these Div1 guys give it a go is kind of showing you some things that you might be able to try to incorporate into your race? I mean, obviously you don't want to incorporate the 10-second or 3-second penalties, but I'm sure there's other things that you could probably carry over from this race to your race. So, anything in particular? And overall, how's the energy in the Mercedes garage here this week?
Overall, I think, for my div, I think, Winter's feeling pretty confident. He's getting a lot of laps in. Myself, I'm actually currently doing a software update on my new wheel now, so I've been testing that. And the others just look quite solid at the moment, but for the race, I think I'm just gonna, do my thing. It's not my track at all, actually. So I'm just gonna have to give it my all for 100% Australia race. So I'll do my best for, I think, carry on from what we did from Japan, obviously from me and Winter. So yeah, that's all I got.
All right, well, I'm gonna give you the best of luck for your race here, for your 100% race, and I'll pass you over to SJ.
Thank you very much. Bit of a drama there. We've got Lockie and Mozza. Mozza's hit the back of Lockie and lost the front right plate, so he's not going to be happy with that. So, yeah, he's going to struggle now. May even see him come to the pit. Well, we won't, actually, because he's just gone on to a set of hards. Sorry, Zombie. Welcome in for this surprise interview. Momentum must be very, very good. The morale must be good in the Mercedes team of the week this week. Fantastic week. Obviously, your week 2 weeks ago was Bahrain, and then obviously you had your teammate Winter taking it in Japan. Starting to build that bond, both of you together as teammates?
Yeah, I mean we've met each other in previous leagues, but yeah, I think me and Winter get along very well. In quali race, off the back as well, but momentum wise, anything happened?
Sorry, Mini Giorgio and Pop Top having a bit of a side-by-side action there into the graveyard, and a little bit of contact. That could have gone terribly wrong. Could have been a bad accident for Pop Top and Mini Giorgio. Sorry, Zombie, but back to what you were saying.
All good. But I think I've had a pretty high finished and consistent, for myself at least. I mean, that double win in Bahrain for my first race in Div 2 was a very I didn't expect that. Probably one of my best races I've ever raced. And I think Japan for me was very good as well, with very minimal practice. I still finished P5 coming from towards the back of the grid. So, but I think, I mean, Australia it's not my track, but I will, I'll try to maximise my performance as I have the last two races. And
Broadstar's round in the wall. Broadstar is round in the wall. Sorry, Zombie, we'll just jump on. He's completely lost it. I don't know if that's a DNF. He's just stopped on track. I don't know what's happened here. And he's disqualified. He's out. Broadstar is out of the Australian Grand Prix. Oh my God, absolute scenes here in Melbourne. I cannot believe what's happened there. I don't know what has happened. We'll have to jump on and find out or get a replay of some sort. What has happened there? He was on absolute fire. He was catching. There's no safety car. Jonno is in P3 at the moment. It's bringing everyone into a VSC currently. No safety car has come out here at Melbourne. And Aiden as Raiden and JF7 have got an 8-second lead to Jonno on a lot older tyres, but with near enough 10 laps to go. There is scenes here at Melbourne. I cannot believe what I'm saying. This is absolute drama. Broadstar is out of this race, been DSQ'd for parking in a dangerous location, spun it, did not move. I don't know. I think he probably had his hands in his head at that point. I sorry. Zombie, I got a bit of trouble when you were talking. I wish you all the best, mate. It's going to be... Oh, we've got drive-throughs coming through now. There's lots going on in this race now. Drive-through for Andre. 3 seconds for Flubber. He's now down to 13 seconds. And he's dropping himself out of the top 5.
no.
It's all going on here. Zombie can't believe it. Wreckers can't believe it. I'm looking forward to the battle between you and Lamb. Toast is getting a penalty. People are losing concentration. And this is the key. You've got to do it to the end. You cannot do it to lap 48 or 47. This is the hard part about these 100%ers. Zombie, good luck. I wish you all the best. She's a long one. Take your time. It is a grilling one. I've been told by a lot of people by doing practice. It's quite grilling. Looking forward to seeing the Lamb battles. Hopefully not for 48 laps. But no, all the best for tomorrow night. And yeah, thanks for jumping in.
Yeah, thank you, SJ. Thank you for having me. I don't know who was meant to requested me. Yeah, I wish you guys the best of luck for your league race, SJ, and I'll leave you guys to it.
Yes, mate. Thank you. Sorry, Zombie, and sorry, Wreckers. I did not mean to jump in. 10 laps to go, but what drama here, Wreckers. Sorry, back to you. Take it away.
So, here's something worth noting, right? With Broadster's incident, I only got the tail end of it, so some theories are saying that Dirty Air might have got him, or he might have just had a mistake on his own. But here's the thing. Jonno is still within a chance of winning this. If Aiden or JDI, or if both drivers pit in, then this one could go right back to Jonno. Jonno could have the most god-tier win of his entire career. Lap 1, disconnected, down to P17, P18, fights his way back up. I mean, it's already a mighty fine drive, and that is another massive penalty. And yeah, I think it's
that's
exactly
a big one, that is, isn't it? That is a big one. 15 seconds.
Jonno's got a chance here. I think Jonno has genuinely got a real good chance here, especially if these guys up front. Because really, it's this top 3 and Swift are the only ones who have not got a penalty so far in this race that they still need to go through. So, I mean, with 10 to go, I'm going to say it again. Jonno has a chance. There is hope. Ferrari fans, Lamb, start huffing the hopium here, because you're going to need it. As Aiden and JDI go side by side, they make the pass happen. And that is going to be... this whole race has felt like a fever dream of just shenanigans, tomfoolery, and the whole 9 yards. And this is only the first 100% race of the week. We still got 4 more after this.
Yeah, I still don't know what to say. I really do feel for Broadstar. It's going to be interesting to see what's happened. And Minero's out. Minero has decided to call it, which is disappointing because he would have scored points. And unfortunately, that's what we didn't want to see. But that is a retirement, and McLaren now down to 1 driver. So hopefully his car doesn't cause problems. I still think there's more in this race. I know we've got 8 laps to go, and I think you've got to be really careful now because the concentration levels are really going to have to be concentrating, and Flubber is pulling in Jonno massively on those 11 laps, but the problem is he's got that 10 seconds. So sorry, how many? Oh yeah, 13.
Yeah,
so
13.
I don't know. I really don't know. Disappointing to see, obviously, Osmanero retire there. Dino, even though he's been lapped and still continuing, still doing his best, and he's going to score points for his team, and that's what you want to see. Everyone scores points. So, yeah, 8 laps to go, retiring. It's a bit silly, really. Might as well finish the end. But it is what it is. We've got JF7 and A as Raiden still going at it. 6.5 tenths now battling Lockie with a 3-second time penalty. Let's look at the penalties. That is a lot of penalties. P17 all the way up to P6 all have a pen. So this is going to spice this leader board up at the end of this race with 7 laps of racing to go, and is still in the safety car limit. So there's still a safety car that can happen here in this race. So yeah, this is gonna be very interesting. I still don't know what to say. We've got a lot of guys on old tyres at the front, and Jonno's reeling them in. He's on 22 laps to 29 and 28, and he's only 3.7 seconds with 7 seconds to go. I don't know how this is going to go, but Lamb, you must be having a heart attack, mate. That's what I'm going to say. You guys on the softs, Kaya and Mozza, on those soft compound tyres. We've seen a lot of drama. We're seeing Kaya try and make a move on Mini Giorgio. Goes round on the left-hand side, doesn't get the move, goes for the switch and goes on to the right, gets the move done. Great overtake there and up into P11. Great move there from Kaya. Mini Giorgio on 25 lap hards. So wouldn't want to fight that. A little bit further down, we've got Mozza down there in 14th, Rift behind with 19 seconds, Toast 28 seconds, Guido 17 seconds, not a night for them to remember. Chandler's and Lockie are going to go side by side into the graveyard, and Lockie up into P8. A little bit further up the top, we've got Pop Top, who is literally 2.5 tenths behind Swift. He looks like he's going to get the move done. 10 lap hards against 29 lap hards as well. Both have penalties as well. So Jonno 3.2 seconds, 3.1. Aiden is Raiden and JF7 are still in P1 and P2. 52 laps out of 58, and Lamb has just announced his BPM is 160. Back to you, Rekus.
I mean, yeah, I can. Normally, if your heart rate is about 160 BPM, I'd tell you to turn off the stream, but I understand it completely if you are Lamb here. I mean, look at this. Look how close these guys are getting. It is only 0.2 of a second here between our two race leaders, and if anything happens between these guys, Jonno is going to be right there, ready to make a 4 for 4, and man, oh man, what a victory this would be for Jonno. But I know JDI. And here's the thing, too, because this is actually looking really good for Sauber as well in the overalls, because you're going to get a massive amount of points. I think overall Mercedes is still going to outscore them slightly, but not by nearly enough, especially with the combined penalties of both Flubber and Pop Top. So Sauber is in a really good spot to hold on to the lead in the overalls here, at least for tonight. Obviously, you still got divs 2 through 4 coming up, so I mean, this is going to be an absolute cinematic run here for the last couple of laps here. 6 to go here, and you can even see in the shot, Jonno is there. He's bringing Flubber along with him for the ride. And, ooh boy, this is going to be such a beautiful, beautiful end to this race. I am already calling it. This is going to be a commentator's blessing if we can see this battle happening here, because I think we're going to see these guys at least fight. I think at this stage, Jonno is on the better tires. I mean, there's no chance that JDI or Aiden are going to pit in at this stage. I wouldn't think so anyway. I think if Brosta didn't get disqualified, I think these guys might have pitted in for different tires, but now that these guys are in the lead, I mean, it makes sense for them to try to stay out. Just because, I mean, otherwise you're just losing. You're losing what's honestly a podium or even a win.
Yeah, the problem here, though, now on with 4 laps to go, is Flubber will want to get past Jonno. He'll want to try and push on his lead. He's on a fresher tyres, so he'll be able to try and push on to the leaders. And if he can get past them, then that will help him with his penalty, because he's looking at he's looking at P7 or maybe even P6. So if he can get past them and gain 3-5 seconds, that will help him in the closing stages of this race as well. I can't see Flubber not getting past Jonno though on those fresher tyres. 15 laps, he's on very fresh tyres. And the problem is JF7 and Aiden as Raiden are just battling it out, doing their own little DRS game here. And, it's working. But you've got 2 guys behind you which are gaining on you massively. And, Yeah, the question is there's four in this fight now with Flubber with that penalty. But Flubber will want to get Jonno. He will not want to let Jonno get past these guys because they're on very old tyres, and Flubber will not want to get stuck in that traffic. As much as Flubber has got that penalty, he'll want to make this move. So I'm going to jump on board with the POV of Jonno just to see what he is here at the moment. So here we go. He's coming onto the DRS now. 50% of his battery. He's got Flubber behind, 64%. And he's got to be so careful because he is now in a traffic jam. And it's easy to get past one, but not two. So he's really going to have to time this to perfection because they will want to keep that lead. They have done everything they have possibly done to be in this position, and they deserve to be there. As JF7 gets a 30-second, and that absolutely makes Lamb's BPM go to 180 now. Jonno is literally one spot away from getting P2. He's in the dirty air of one car. He's got to be so careful now. He doesn't want to end up crashing out on the last couple of laps. But here we go. We've got JF7 in that P2, Jonno in P3. He's going to try and make a move. JF7 makes a move, gets past. Jonno is trying to make a move. You can see he's itching to get past, but he just needs to be so careful. And he's got Flubber right there as well as Jonno tries to make another move. Doesn't make the move. Keep on board this battle at the moment. This is where it's at. Lap 56 coming up.
3 to go.
Jonno 2.5 tenths behind. He's looking to make a move, getting out the dirty air. Flubber is right there as well. He's good on battery. So is Aiden. So is JF7 is really trying to push away. He's going to hurt Aiden as Raiden. We've got a battle going on there as Flubber's getting involved in this as well. Jonno goes side by side. Aiden holds his line. He's allowed to hold his line. They're going to go around the outside. Jonno gets the move done. He's up into P2. And he's now going to go against JF7. Rekas, over to you.
Yeah, so at this stage, Jonno is gonna go for the win here. He's gonna make a 4 for 4. He just gotta stay within 3 seconds of JF7 here to make it 4 for 4 out of one mega recover drive. He's in the lead of the race. Jonno is in the lead of the Australian Grand Prix, and what was looking to be an improbable race for him has turned into the possible. I don't know what you guys have in those Ferraris, but man, it is cooking here. As we do see a bit of an attempt from Flubber onto Aiden is Raiden now, and Jonno is starting to run away with this one. I mean, we're talking about XD Lamb, who's, I mean, honestly, I'm not sure what's higher, the KPH rating coming down that straight or XD Lamb's heart rate at this point. But Jonno's heart rate's got to be up there too. I mean, this is going to be probably win of his career. Started second, dropped way down due to his AI and getting disconnected. And he's back in the lead of the race. The car immediately behind him on older tires and also with a 3-second pen. So really, Jonno's just got to keep this in the white lines, and then this is another Ferrari win. The Ferrari Masterclass is cooking here today, and we're here for it. This has been a mega drive from Jonno. Even if through some shenanigans, Aiden does come back to take the race win, Jonno has had a mega race here tonight. Over to you, SJ, to round us out.
Yeah, this has been an absolutely fantastic 100% race. Thank you very much to everyone tuning in. Jonno, what a drive. Looking forward to interviewing this man, but let's not count too soon. He must not get a 3 second. So let's have a look what happens here. We have got JF7. If he holds his position, he's looking at a podium because Flubber has too many penalties, but can Flubber cause a problem and try and overtake both of these and take Jonno not out of this race, but obviously put Aiden back in the opportunity. Here is Jonno, 9.5 attempts. He's pulling out the DRS. JF7, he's holding on. Raiden is looking at a P2 finish. This is a great finish for VCarb and a great weekend as well, because you've also got number 1 Swift as well, who doesn't have a penalty, but he's 9 seconds back from Pop Top Bongo. You've got Flubber and Mercedes Flubber and Pop Top in P4 and P5. Anyone going to make a move? Flubber is getting very close to Aiden's Raiden. He's burning everything he can to try and cause a bit more of a storm on this last this last lap. And he doesn't get the job done, but he's so close to Aiden's Raiden. As you can see, fresher tyres, 36 to 35 laps on the hards. Flubber doesn't make the move, stays in that P4 position. Jonno is coming around. 2 corners to go. There's a yellow at the back, and it looks like it could be it's Dino. Oh, someone's dropped back, and Dino's gone past them. Jonno's come around the final corner, and he's going to win round 4 of Melbourne. Albert Park, Australian. I don't think he can believe it himself. JF7 drops down to P3. Flubber will drop further down as well. Aiden has Raiden up into P2. JF7 into P3. Pop Top into P4. Flubber into P5 as it stands at the moment. Yes, he does. What a night for Mercedes. What a night for VCarb. And what a night for Jonno in that Ferrari. Wow, there we go. We're just waiting for the closing people to come round. Lockie coming round into P8. We've got battles going on at the back. Still, Chandler's and their kick are going at it. Chandler's up into P8. And then we've got Andre goes up into P7. We've still got moves going on. Moza coming around across the line into P11. Then we've got Wonton. He'll be very disappointed with tonight. And also with his teammate, what happened earlier on into P12. One Truth into P13. Rift will go into P14. And Mini Giorgio will go into P15. And, we're just about to see Toast and Dino in P16 and P17, and Mini Giorgio crosses the line. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is 100% done and dusted. Rekus, we'll talk about summary in a second. I'm just going to get these guys in for an interview.
I mean, what a drive from Jonno there. I mean, you couldn't have scripted a better comeback story here tonight. I mean, we said it at the beginning that Jonno's streak would come to an end here tonight. And at the opening lap, it looked like that would be the case. His hot streak would fizzle out. But somebody just poured gasoline on that fire, and it is raging here. So, 4 in a row for Jonno. And, I mean, driver of the day, I mean, that is to no surprise there. Jonno has done everything right. Aiden, cleanest driver of the day. Fastest lap goes to Keatonic. And, wow, just what a drive it was. So, we're going to run through our order here of the first 100% race of the season. Jonno takes a beautiful win here ahead of Aiden is Raiden, JDI, Pop Top Bongo, Flubber, Swift, Andre, Chandler's, Keo, Lockie, Mazza, Watanabe, One Truth, Rift, Jorgo, and then our drivers a lap down of Tosta and Dino, and then our retirees of Ozzy Minero and Broadstead, rounding out the field here tonight. So that is going to be it for the race itself, but I believe we do have interviews just coming up here. So, but man, what a drive. I mean, I know the glaze is crazy right now for Jonno, but it is deserved, man, because that drive was insane.
Yeah, Rekus, you seem a bit speechless.
I mean, yeah, I can't believe that was absolutely, that was just a generational drive, honestly.
Oh, it was absolute fantastic drive there, and the guy he's just got it, hasn't he? He is just so fast. But you know, we probably thought tonight that was going to be it. You know, it was going to be a chance for someone else. You know, and it looked like it was going to be Broadstar, and I really do feel for Broadstar. I think it was really unfortunate. What happened there with him tonight, and that will obviously be something to be looking at, but also a fantastic race by everyone, with the guys at the front, Aiden, JF7, absolutely fantastic. So all right, My game's crashed, so hopefully we're on the right, hopefully on the Div1 menu. I'll take away the first interview. Right, here we go. JF7, mate. I've been very, very impressed with you in the last 3 weeks, mate. You've been very consistent. It's great to have you back in the league. But to tell us how you thought that 100% was for you tonight.
Yeah, it was a pretty good race. It was just good throughout the entirety of it. Everything felt good. The setup felt great. And yeah, just really good racing from the grid.
Yeah, well, you had a fantastic battle with Aiden as Raiden, and then obviously you had the battle of Jonno and Flubber that were coming into it as well, and also Broadstar was catching up for a period of time. But then you got the 3 second, and that unfortunately did cost you the P2 or even the P1. Did you know that Jonno was that close behind? Did you feel that he was going to get you near the end?
Yeah, we always had tabs on Jonno, and when he started closing the gap, it got really scary. And yeah, we had to improvise for that. Yeah.
Well, I think so far you've got to be probably happy with your results with Kick. Obviously tonight, P3 and P8 pending penalties and that. Going into Singapore next week, it's another tough track. Back to a street track for the first time this season. How are you feeling around there?
Well, with how it's going now throughout these recent races, I feel pretty confident going into Singapore, and I don't mind the track. So, yeah.
Awesome. Well, mate, well done. What a drive. Props to you, mate. 58 laps. You definitely want a drink or a Jack Daniels, or if you're old enough to drink Jack Daniels after that, because that's tiring. I could definitely tell you guys are probably pretty tired. So no, well done. Props to P3, and I'll pass you over to Rickus.
All right, well, it was a very good race from you there. I mean, you guys battled it out there pretty much right there until the end. I do want to ask, though, for you, JF7, what was going through your mind when you saw that Broston got disqualified from the race?
It was a surprise at the start. Then realized it was a pretty good surprise. It's unfortunate that he disqualified, but yeah, I mean it benefited me, so I'm happy for it.
So were you?
I have information about that, by the way, because I was in a voice call with him.
Okay.
Oh, what happened?
Everything disconnected, even his keyboard, his mouse, everything.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's tough. Okay. But I was next question I have for you. So, were you originally planning on trying to take those hards for almost 40 laps, or was there originally a pit stop plan before the disqualification came through?
No, we just wanted to extend the hards all the way through, even if there was a VSC. At the time, it would have depended on Aiden. If he were to box, then we'd have to counter it. Other than that, no, we would have just stayed out.
All right, last question before I go ahead and let you go. Is there anyone you'd like to give a special thanks or a shout out to here tonight?
I'd just like to shout out the Sick Party and Chandler's. I mean, they've been pretty good, and I really like the team, so yeah.
All right, congratulations on your podium, and we will see you in Singapore.
Thank you for having me here.
All right, we'll move on to VCAP. Aiden is Raiden. Finally, some luck has gone your way, and you are on the podium. What a night, mate. You had a fantastic night the other night, the reserve program. We had a little bit of a chat beforehand, but what a night, man. You VCAPs tonight, you done very, very well. P6 and P2. Tell us about your race, mate.
Start off pretty awful. I don't know if you noticed, but I got a penalty in qualifying because I was trying to overtake an AI car, and he came out of AI as I was overtaking him, and he just stopped accelerating and essentially brake checked me. So I couldn't do my final run and got damage, and I got a penalty, so that sent me back to P11, I think. But then yeah, it was pretty good strategy, I think. A lot of luck went our way with Jonno having issues. Broadster also unfortunately had issues. A lot of things went our way. Yeah, I think just drove a good race, stay consistent, try to keep away from incidents, and not really sure how I got to P2. I really don't know, but I think two people ahead of me spun on the same lap, which it lost me DRS, which I thought was bad, but thankfully I gained it back, and I just stayed with JF7 until the end.
To be honest with you, after all that, you're still P2, mate. So, you know, you got thrown quite a lot this season. You've been hit quite a few times, incidents a few times as well, and you know that's great momentum for VCAB. Obviously, a very strong week last week for your teammate Kazuto in Division 3. A great start to the week for VCAB. Big points. Number one Swift as well. You've got to be happy with that, and this gives you big momentum and a big boost going into Singapore next week.
Yeah, definitely. I needed that.
That's good. I'm glad you don't sound happy, but I hope
Well,
you are
I've just done 60 laps. I just done 60 laps of Alder Park. I'm exhausted. I need a drink of water.
I know. No, I'm only messing. No, congratulations, mate. Well deserved, and I'll pass you over to Rickers.
Thank you.
All right, I'm gonna be really quick, just so you can go get your water, get hydrated. How do you feel about Singapore? And is there anyone you'd like to shout out after tonight?
Singapore, it's a bit of a luck track. Things can go it's the same as Australia. I'm just gonna be consistent and keep out of the walls. And then get good qualifying as always. But we'll have to see until then. For a shout out, FB Symphonic. He was there engineering us tonight, and he was definitely helpful. With the gaps, especially with Jonno. Honestly, didn't think he would catch us at the end, but he had some crazy pace. So yeah, it was very helpful. He kept me going. He kept me at JF7. He definitely helped me get that P2.
All right, well, once again, congratulations on your podium, and go hydrate, get some water in your system, and we'll see you in Singapore.
Thank you.
Okay. Right, I'll let you take this one, Rickers, because you were quite speechless about this result. But yeah, over to you for Jonno.
All right, Jonno, from hero to zero, back to being a hero. How does this win feel for you? Because surely this has got to be one of the best wins, if not the best win of your league racing career.
Yeah, definitely. Especially the issue I had with my game crashing. I don't know why it happened, but it happened right at turn one, so it wasn't great. And then the game decided to put me on softs when I wanted hards. But yeah, it definitely one of my better drives. Yeah, definitely.
I mean, we actually all did say that like your hot streak would come to an end, but it's like somebody just poured a bunch of gasoline onto that fire, and you are now 4 in a row. A very strong start to your season. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, it's unbelievable, really. You know, the quality is what I lacked before, so I'm glad that I've kind of figured it out. Because that was mainly what was holding me back last season and the season before that. So I'm just glad I sorted it out and I can finally do some good results.
Indeed, yeah. So it was a very good drive for you tonight. Do you think you could go for 5 for 5 in Singapore next week?
Singapore is a decent track of mine, so there's a possibility. But once again, you know, what Aiden said, anything can happen at Singapore. So, you know, it's safety cars when you just pit and like, you know, just incidents. So it's going to be quite interesting, I think.
weather is also always a factor in Singapore because it's either bone dry or torrential downpour with like no in between. So
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. Because if there is rain in the race, it's very difficult to pass someone, but it's very easy to make a mistake at the same time. So we'll have to see how it goes.
all right. Without any further ado, congratulations on win number 4 in a row, and I'll pass you over to SJ.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Vegas. Jonno. What a night, mate. Obviously, you didn't make that boring for us tonight, which was really, really good. Obviously, it was going to be a tough ask, 100%, especially around here. It's not. We've never done it before. You didn't have it all your way. Obviously, you got pipped. In quali by Broadstar, which was a fantastic lap, I've got to say. And then obviously went from bad to worse with the connection. I hope you did get the invite from me.
I got one from Mozza. Mozza sent me a Steam invite, like a straight Steam invite, so it was easier to do that way rather than waiting for the mail
good.
or something. So yeah, it was better that way.
We sent you one as soon as possible. The same with Popped Up, but
Appreciate it.
What was the situation when you got to that? Like, what was? I reckon there was a few swear words in the VC, probably to your TP. But what was your mindset like going to be to do next? Like,
Actually,
you fell down so far.
Not really. I was actually kind of like, oh, at least this makes my race more interesting. So I was like, okay, you know what? I'll do it. I knew I would have a big deficit to the front runners because it's quite difficult to pass here. There are a couple spots more than other tracks, but it's still very, very difficult to pass here, especially trying to manage your ERS and also manage your tires, because I knew I had to keep my tires but pass through traffic at the same time. So it was a bit of a learn by learn type thing per lap. So I wasn't really that mad, to be honest. I was kind of glad. I wouldn't say glad. It made my race more interesting. That's all.
Oh no, definitely. And of all races to do it, is probably a lot more easier to do it here than obviously a 50% race. You had the laps behind you as well, and and then obviously we saw Broadstar get DSQ'd, which is well, all of it goes out to him, because he basically had that in the bag, I think, in the end. So, a little bit of luck goes your way, and then you get behind two guys which are on very, very old tyres, but then you've got a guy behind you which is on quite fresher tyres. So give us a little bit of an inkling what the last 3 laps were like, what the plan was.
The plan was, so I was I knew they had worse tyres than me, I think, because I did 30 laps on the hards. I'm not sure what they did on the hards, but I could tell my tyres were in better shape. It was mainly kind of just keeping out of incidents, especially, with the DRS and all that. So I was pushing JF7 towards Aiden, so he would make a move on Aiden, so I could try and do something. So it's kind of like a game of cat and mouse, I would say, in terms of that strategic thinking. So no, but everything worked out in the end, I guess.
You can't afford to do anything silly in that situation. You've got 2 laps to go, 3 laps to go. You've got the guys in front, they're on old tyres. You're on fresher tyres. One's got a penalty, so it's just basically trying to pick them off one by one, but within 3 laps. And then obviously Flubber behind. That could have caused a little bit of problems if he'd have got the overtake, he'd have held you up, and then Nathan and JF7 would have been able to get away. So, honestly, mate, you've given us a lot of entertainment tonight. It was a fantastic race. Well, it wasn't really dull in any moment, really. And that props to you, mate. 58 laps during that is... I've got to do it in
Good luck.
days as well. And I don't want to be starting at the back. So, no, props to you, Jonno, mate. And, going into Singapore, you've obviously got 4 for 4. You've got a big lead, 30 points for obviously pending penalties if you've got involved in any incidents. Hopefully not. We did see a little bit of an issue at the start. I think there may be an AI car that took off your front wing.
No, I had my front wing, I think. I don't know. It didn't say I had any damage.
It may have been you or might have been someone else, but I just thought it might have been an issue at the start. So I just wanted to just talk. Yeah, no issue.
No, I don't think I had damage. Didn't feel anything, nor did it show.
Okay. Perfect. Well, there you go. Perfect result. 30 points. Like I say, pending penalties and all that jazz. Big lead. You feeling? Obviously, with the news that's dropped, you've got a massive hand on the trophy already, or are you still feeling that Division 1 can make a few surprises?
Well, anything can happen, anything can happen. And a lot of the other guys are starting to get their pace up now, especially in quali and also race. So I still have to perform at my best every race. I can't afford to, lay back. So especially after an issue like that tonight. So I've still got to keep on it.
Yeah, well, definitely good to see you in the improvement as well. And your quality is obviously doing really, really well as well. So you've obviously been practicing on that. And congratulations once again. Fantastic drive. That will be one for the history books, I'm sure, and especially for us as well. So props to you, mate. You enjoy the rest, enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you next week in Singapore.
Thank you very much, guys. Have a good night.
Oh, Rekus. What a night. 58 laps, me and you. Give me a summary of tonight.
Yeah, I mean, tonight was pretty much at 100% the entire time. It started off dramatic. We had some drama to get go. Obviously, Jonno had his disconnection. He had his AI causing a little bit of chaos there in the opening laps. Actually, his AI was the one that took the front wing off of, I think, Watanabe. So I think that was the drama that happened there. A few drivers spun out, and then the race never really settled down for even a moment, really. You always had some really close battles between the Saubers, the Mercedes, and then obviously the big story being Jonno going from hero to zero, back to hero again after that drive. Aiden's Raiden and JF7 getting massive points for their teams. Aiden's Raiden finally having to let go his way, building off the momentum from the reserve program race he won. Overall, bunch of different mini storylines combining to an absolute cinematic masterpiece that was this race here tonight.
Oh yeah, definitely. It was very, very interesting from start to finish. There was a lot that happened. Obviously, Jonno, like you said, Jonno's disconnection early on, making his way through the pack. We obviously had different leaders. It looked like it was going to be a Mercedes night tonight. They were right up there. And then obviously Flubber got that 10-second. That pushed him down. Pop Top then got a 3-second. And then it was basically Aiden and JS7 reaching out with Broadstar. Then Broadstar with the DSQ. That changed massive things while we were doing our interview with Zombie, which I do apologise, Zombie, on that, if I did jump in and throw you off. 2 retirements, obviously the retirement of Minero, a little bit of a shame there, could have scored points, obviously decided to retire, so that was a bit of a shame. Then we had issues with Dido earlier as well, that he was just teleporting everywhere. I don't know what happened. It just didn't seem to go to plan. And then he fell all the way down from being in the top 5. Battles in the midfield as well going on, and obviously, like you did say, if that is the issue with Wonton losing his front wing to Jonno, that may be looked at by the stewards as well. So Jonno may not keep P1, which then spices it up even more. And then obviously right near the end, getting the move done on 2 cars on very, very old tyres. So, and as you can see by the grid finishes, everyone is everywhere. We've got P2, 11, 10, 6, 3, 9, 7, 13, 17, 5, 19. It's just all over the place, which is what you love in 100% races. It just mixes the strategy up massively. But it is a key. You need to stay with the pack. As soon as you start losing the pack, it is a struggle to catch up. So props to all 19 drivers tonight. 58 laps. If you did finish it, well done. If you didn't, then better luck. There is another one. There's 2 more, so don't forget them. But fastest lap goes to Kyo, so congratulations. P1 goes to Jonno. Aiden as Raiden goes to P2, and JS7 P3. And driver of the day also goes to Jonno as well. So thank you very much. Big up to all of our people that followed in tonight. We've got Sergeant Rapper, Alfie F1_TT, and Amber10977. Thank you very much for the follows. Thank you very much for the channel points as well. Surprise interview with Zombie earlier on, and there was another surprise interview as well earlier, which I'll redeem because I don't think we got that one, so I will redeem that. And big up to all of our sponsors as well, AI369, Pagli and SimLab, and our affiliate this season, SRC. Rekus, there was a quote of the race, so I'll let you take that away before I wrap it up. But we'll be back tomorrow night with Division 2. You'll be in the comms box with me yet again. I'm doing the double, so 200% aces. Lovely. Just hopefully save the voice, which I have saved the voice, so thank you, Rekus. I'll be joined by Keeper, and we'll be up next with Division 2. Rekus, close it out.
All right, so for your quote of the race, it's not over till it's over. You can go from hero to zero, but just because you're at zero doesn't mean you can't return back to hero. Ferrari's still in a hot streak, and the battle between Sauber and Mercedes still red hot in the overalls. On behalf of everybody here, it was SJ, and my name is Patrick Coleman, aka Rekus, and we have been your hosts and commentators tonight. Tune in tomorrow for more 100% action at Australia, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Stay hydrated, have a good night. Goodbye.